A federal election has been called, the spring market has sprung, and they've discovered some new real estate in Egypt. I'm Ryan.
I'm Daryl.
And I'm Ann.
And this is the Take a Look podcast.
I'm curious about this new real estate in Egypt.
Yeah, what are you talking
Is that the
about?
surprise?
Yes, let me tell you. Okay, so on March 16th, they've just released this data that they discovered what looks like an ancient city underneath the Pyramid of Giza.
Oh.
So they've used LiDAR technology to basically penetrate the pyramids in the ground. And what they found is it 2 to 3 kilometers of these cylinders that go underneath the pyramids. So the hypothesis is that this was some sort of ancient city or something like that.
That's sick. That's like paradise.
Yeah,
but-
paradise. Yeah,
Yeah.
but already
Do you want to
ready
watch
to go.
that show with
I've
us
never
now?
seen Paradise, so I don't know what
Yeah,
you're talking
'cause you
about.
refuse.
But this is even cooler. So the implications of this is one, you can
We can live down there.
You can live in no, I'm just kidding. You can't live there, but it really changes everything we've thought about the pyramids and ancient Egypt.
Aliens exist.
So the other hypothesis, this is the more the conspiracy theory type thing, but it seems to make sense. I was rabbit holing down a bunch of Egypt stuff last night, but what they think it is that it's actually a power generator, and that the pyramids were used to conduct electricity, and that the ancient civilizations they had electrical energy to use for I have no idea.
So even
what
they
for.
had underground electrical, and we have these awful above ground wires.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, Daryl's referencing my hatred towards electrical lines that are
Yeah.
like on the poles, because like when you go into a community and we want to shoot a house and it's a beautiful facade, beautiful frontage, and then it's just wires in front, and so you can't get a clear shot of it, and it's just ugly and gross.
Yeah.
So,
The only poles we want to see is Ryan on one.
oh God, Daryl.
Daryl, cut that.
Anyways,
Cut.
so in other news, big thing happening this month is a federal election. It was called by our new Prime Minister, Mark Carney. I don't even know if he was Prime Minister last time we did a podcast. So, new Prime Minister, new federal election. We just came out of our provincial election here, which was only a month. Again, this federal election is only a month. It was supposed to happen in October, and now it's happening April 28th. So there's a lot happening and a lot of big implications for real estate and housing, and a lot of big promises as well.
I feel like with the provincial election and Trump and whatever, the housing market's already delayed its typical start for the spring. So I wonder if this will continue that delay or maybe push it.
Yeah, I think the big thing that has kind of slowed down the real estate market is just buyer uncertainty.
Yeah.
Because when you're shifting big investments or big assets, such as real estate, and you have these tariffs and economic uncertainty, people tend to kind of hold on to the purse strings a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
But I think that no matter what the outcome of the federal election, to have some actual mandated leadership to deal with this trade war that we're now in is going to be a good thing for Canada, just to actually move forward and hopefully get it all settled.
Yeah.
But so Mark Carney has, as when it comes to real estate, he's promising no HST for new builds under $1 million. So this is actually something that has been in the conservative platform for a while. So it seems like everybody's on board for that, which I think is a great idea, actually, because at the end of the day, we need to build more so we can, one, have more accessibility, but also so to level out the pricing.
And isn't that HST covered by the builder, though? Didn't we learn that with Michael Dennison?
Yeah, but it's still added on to the price. Of the home,
it still
right?
goes into it. Yeah.
So like even if the builder, it comes out of that price
Yeah.
when you buy, that HST is still going to the
Exists,
government.
yeah.
So when you take out that HST, affordability
Right.
becomes more affordable, right? So it's brings down the pricing of new builds under $1 million, which these days $1 million isn't as much as when we were kids and we thought $1 million home could be a giant mansion. Now it's, you can get a pretty nice place for $1 million, but still
depends where you are.
It doesn't go nearly as far as even 10 years ago.
I always thought the Home Alone house when I was a kid was like $1 million house. But how much would that actually go for right now, do you think?
Well, it was for sale
It was?
recently.
But it's also a lot bigger than the movie shows because there's like a full gymnasium in that place.
What?
Have you not seen it?
No.
It's unbelievable. Like
You have to send that to
the
me.
kitchen's all redone. In
Well,
like
yeah.
gorgeous, modern, beautiful house. You know, it's a very expensive, big home.
Okay. Well, that's not fair because the home that I'm picturing, that's what I would want to know how much that would cost. But obviously that's worth way more than I'm anticipating.
Right.
Anyway.
Speaking of the election, though, so we just came out of the provincial election, which we did a bit of a political series here on the podcast where we interviewed the candidates. We got 3 out of the 4 main candidates, which was great, and really just got to know them a bit more. And at the end of the day, it didn't really change anything because the government, I think there's only a few seats that really changed. But we're going to also be doing a series of political interviews for this election. Next week, we're slated to have Kate Crothers on, who is our NDP candidate, and excited to talk to her, get to know her a bit more. And we'll see what happens here locally in the Bay of Quinte. Ryan Williams is our current member of parliament, but, you know, nothing is certain in this day and age.
Do we know who the other candidates are for?
So they haven't announced for the Green or the Liberal Party yet. I was speaking to some contacts that I have on the Liberal Party about what's happening. I think it's down to 2 potential people right now.
Okay.
And we're waiting for them to announce that, which maybe by the time this podcast comes out, they may have announced it. But again, we only have a month to really prepare for this election,
Yeah.
which I don't think is enough time.
No, isn't it the 28th today?
No, 28th of April.
No, but isn't today March 28th?
26.
26.
It's the 26th.
Just
today.
over a
Okay,
month.
yeah, so they haven't announced it yet. That gives them 32 days if they announce today.
Well, because I think one of the interesting things I learned from my interviews with the provincial candidates was just kind of about the partnerships they need to have between the different levels of government, where if a federal policy comes through, such as the Conservatives are doing their dollar for doors part of their platform, where they're going to withhold money to municipalities who don't build housing and open those funds to municipalities who do build housing. That may be a great, you know, carrot and stick incentive for municipalities to build. But if you don't have the province there to support the infrastructure side of things, then what are we doing here? That's not really making sense for anything.
They have to work together in tandem.
Yeah, that's right. And despite whether you're red, blue, orange, or green, there needs to be some cohesiveness between those leaders to get stuff done. So, yeah, I'm curious to hear what the federal candidates have to say on a lot of these issues and kind of what their strategy is on to increase housing affordability, accessibility, attainability. Because right now we're still in a housing crisis. It's been the biggest issue in our country for the past decade.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get some good answers and get the right person.
Is Prince
into power.
Edward County still in a development freeze?
Yeah, so the Prince Edward County is in, I believe it's a 2-year development freeze, and this isn't for the entirety of the county. This is just for certain areas. So this is in Picton proper, Wellington proper, but there's still you can develop rurally, but I believe it's for any of the communities that have access to the infrastructure that's there, like sewage, like water.
And new applications.
So they're basically putting that on hold because they do have a backlist of development applications as it is. So we're still, and they're waiting for infrastructure. They're waiting for water. There's this big water pipeline project that they've been talking about, and that needs to be figured out because if you can't put in 500 homes without access to water, and so.
Well, and who pays for it? Because they were talking about going to private wells and measuring the output, and then potentially charging homeowners with private wells water surcharge. So, which we already pay to get water pumped into our wells, so that would be unfortunate. But that would be a great question for you to ask next week and whoever else comes on.
Yeah, well, it's the tough thing, right? Because again, it comes to between those levels of government and what jurisdiction they have. Because the municipalities and the provinces, they kind of work in tandem for infrastructure projects, and the federal government helps fund those as well, but primarily comes out of the province. So there's, it's a kind of a strange dynamic, and we'll see what happens there.
Well, speaking of housing, should we go into a rabbit hole?
Yeah, let's get into the rabbit hole. And for the first time, my wife, Ann Snyder, is here on the podcast with us.
Hello.
And at home, she is always she's on Realtor way more than I ever am. She's on it. And she'll rabbit hole on Realtor, not just locally, but all over the country, all over the world. She's sending me listings, and I thought that'd be a great opportunity to show that on the podcast. So let's jump into it. This is Ann's rabbit hole. So
Realtor rabbit hole.
I do have a problem where I send listings to family members and anyone who has mentioned at any given time that they might be interested in moving to Prince Edward County. You will likely have received a listing from me.
I'll just, as a note too, every single house that Ann and I have bought, Ann has been the 99.99% force behind it and finding it, putting it in front of my face, and I literally was just like, yeah, that looks good, and let's do it.
Which is an interesting side note, by the way, is usually that's not uncommon. You're usually marketing, when you're marketing on social media, especially, you're marketing to women generally, and whether or not they're a partner of somebody, it's oftentimes the female in the relationship that will bring the listing to their partner. So when you're thinking demographics and you're trying to come up with your target audience, that's something to keep in mind. That's the social media aspect of things. So there are 2 listings in here that I've sent all these to my sister. So we're trying to get my sister to move to Prince Edward County. That is the background of this rabbit hole here. Let's jump into the multi-generational one, because this one I feel like is the best bet, except we can't decide who would get which side of this house. So this is over in Brighton, and it's actually only a 10-minute bike ride from Presqu'île.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So if you want your kids to have a really good summer job, which I would, they can bike 10 minutes to Presqu'île. So there's, I love how this one is angled. So when you have multi-generational listings, oftentimes it's like, oh, there's an in-law suite where they put like a kitchen in the basement. The reason I would never buy one of those with my family if I knew that I had family living downstairs is because you can hear.
Top and bottom splits are not
top bottom
great.
splits are difficult.
Our last place that we lived in a duplex, and it was a top bottom split, and there was no insulation in between the floors.
That's the issue there.
And like and we had wooden floors, so it was like you could hear everything.
Yeah.
Which wasn't great. It was a bit of an intimate relationship you had with your neighbors.
It is. Yeah. There's a middle unit as well that's like not completed. It's like a roughed in.
It's above the garage, I believe.
Oh,
yeah. So I think there's the garage.
Oh, so there's like 3 separate units in this.
Yes.
Potential.
That's how it's listed. It says there's 3 units, but this is the third one.
Okay, it's unfinished.
So it's
but still seems like a lot of space.
Yeah, what's
much
above
space.
the garage? I think there's stairs there. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
wow.
that I have your full attention now, right? This is awesome. But that's the problem with multi-generational listings is oftentimes there's a main house. So you can't just equally split it.
Yeah, someone's sacrificing.
Someone's sacrificing, but on both ways. You get the smaller house, but you're paying much less. So it's difficult, and I think it's likely difficult for a real estate agent too. But this is something that if realtors become more well-versed in this and helping families work through this, because it's a need. We have to come to terms with the fact that multi-generational is part of our future.
Yeah.
In order to afford land, and also with the lack of housing that we do have, to be able to convert existing properties and homes to host multiple families. So that's a benefit of living. If you have really good family and they make you better people, multi-generational is fantastic.
And if you don't have good family and it's a toxic environment, do not live with them.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that house.
Yeah.
And all of the
It's
things I've
huge.
considered for it. No, well, half the things I've considered for it. It's massive. but that's an awesome opportunity that it has just dropped down in price. So if anybody is considering moving in with their family members, the side by side and the fact that it's private, the way it's angled, the location, this whole house is awesome. And I don't think we're going to buy it.
Or if you're
So,
looking to
it's yours.
subsidize your mortgage with renting out the back unit,
Yeah.
finishing that middle one, or you could even have it as an in-law suite, there's a lot of potential to, not carry the full weight of that price.
Okay, let's do one more. So this is Away Cabins on Rice Lake.
2.9 million.
Yeah.
Yowza.
Well, okay, just
It's a business.
come on.
Oh, it's a business.
Yes.
Okay.
So this
Oh,
is
wow.
it's
Hello,
a resort.
landscaping. Beautiful.
Yeah, wait for it.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
So when I go onto rabbit holes, I actually envision myself living in a property and what the lifestyle would look like. So I did actually email these people.
Oh my gosh.
That doesn't surprise me at all, Ian.
Well, because, okay, they haven't renovated the main house yet. So they didn't include it in the photos, which is fair. But if I were someone who wanted to buy this and live on the property, I would want to live in the main house. So it mentions that the office is in there and the laundry units are in there, but there's no photos of the main house itself. So I emailed them. They did not get back to me.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah. So anyway,
Where is this?
Rice Lake.
Rice Lake.
Oh, Rice Lake. Oh.
Yeah.
Near my hometown.
These are nice cottages.
Oh, wait till you see inside, Daryl.
Oh, I like that one right on the water.
Ooh.
I know.
Ooh, look at that.
Very
That's
wander.
gorgeous. It is very wander-esque, isn't it?
So pretty.
Oh.
I was shocked. I have not heard of these before. And I've asked ChatGPT to show me other places like Wander in Ontario so that I can discover some of those nicer, like modern Scandinavian places. ChatGPT didn't tell me anything.
Is this what's included in this resort? Is it just rental units, or is there like a spa and stuff like that as well?
There's a hot tub.
Okay.
But here you can read it. Look at dedicated yoga platform, Ryan.
Oh, I like that.
I know. Sauna, jacuzzi, and then
Okay, so it's basically like your own little
Yeah.
Nordic spa.
Yeah.
they have the EV charging station, and they also, everything is included in it. So you would get,
It says
All
Porsche
the
EV
furniture,
charging
everything.
station, but the Porsche doesn't come with it, I'm sure.
No,
Oh, right.
Porsche just has their own brand.
I love that landscaping
Clever.
though. Like look at that stone.
it's really nice.
That
But
wasn't
there,
cheap.
it does
Hence
cater
the
to
$2.9
families.
million price tag.
Yeah. It does cater to families, but there's not like a huge area to play soccer or something like that. I would probably do a small fenced-in zone so that I could have the kids play safely because it is waterfront. Because they have a kids clubhouse and they advertise to families. Look at this. This is so nice.
I love the exposed rafters.
Mm-hmm.
That's gorgeous.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that. The covered hot tub.
Yeah, look at the view. And also,
Oh,
this has
wow.
65-star reviews on Google.
Wow.
Yeah,
So it's
you're
an
buying the
operating business right now.
Yes, it does very well. Look at this is the kids club.
Oh,
that's
Isn't
cool.
that so cute?
There's like a whole net hammock thing up there.
I know.
Yeah, so you
that's
just
it.
shove the kids in there while you.
Yeah, but they need outdoor time too, where I'm not freaking out that they're gonna fall into the water.
I grew up on waterfront and I survived. So
Yes, I know.
It
You
is
say that to
possible.
me all the time, but still, my paranoid self. Look at there's a
How many
perfect spot
how
to
many
have a
units are
fence.
there?
just the 4?
Or 5?
No, I think there's 5.
Yeah, there's the one on the right
pretty
there,
sure there's
and then
5.
there's the main house. So six buildings total.
Quite a small property otherwise, though.
It is. They've done so much with that
Yeah.
space.
I love the landscaping. I said it 3 times already, but it is gorgeous. Oh
That
man,
is
let's
really
buy
nice.
that. I want it.
Okay, so see, multi-generational
total.
enjoyment. Oh yeah, 8 buildings. So 5 cabins. So they rent out 5 spaces, but then again, it doesn't really go into what the main house is like.
The main house supports storage, laundry.
Yeah.
All
And
right, so we need 5 friends to buy this with us. Who's in? Who wants to live in just a cabin? A very nice cabin, mind you.
yeah.
Daryl.
Yeah?
What's happening at One Look Productions these days?
Well, we're getting into our standard spring market chaos, if you will. starting to pick up a little bit with listings. I know, like we said, the political aspects have kind of slowed the kickstart to the spring market, but it's still going. And I think we're going to see a flood of listings come up as the days get nicer. So a couple things we've got going on internally. We have our prepay and earn program. Basically, you pay upfront amount that kind of goes towards your marketing dollars for the year, and we in turn give you extra credits on your account. And you can put that back into a listing, or you can put that back into your branding content. Lots of options. Our members program is trickling in, so we've got some new members coming on board that you can see on our Instagram and on our Find an Agent page on our website, which is one of the perks of that program.
What is the membership? Like, what is that? What is this thing?
So essentially, our membership program is a savings program where members have exclusive access to member-only rates and monthly promos and different branding rates as well. So just a way of saving some money and getting listed on our member directory on our website. With people who are looking for an agent can trust that if they're going to be listing their house, for example, that they'll have good top quality content because they're a member with One Look, and then they can do their own research into personality matching and making sure that that specific agent is the right fit.
One of the things I'm really excited about the membership program is the monthly promotions that we're doing. So every month there is a new deal. Mm-hmm. Coming up for this April, what's the deal of the month for our members, Daryl?
Yeah, so April, we have a 50% off our Zoom Through Instagram Reel add-on. So basically, if you wanted to dip your toes into some video or social media content for your listings, then this is a great opportunity for members to save 50% on that. And as of this recording, it's March. Our March promo was Agent on Camera or Agent Intro, 50% off as well. So again, what the goal of the promotions is to really provide an opportunity to try out something new with the minimal risk because of the discount. Or if you are normally getting something like that, then you're just saving money on every listing that you do that month. So the savings really scale with volume. So in this busy spring market, if you're listing 1 or 2 a week and each qualifies for the discount, then it just kind of stacks on top of each other like that. So your membership will be paid off very quickly.
Awesome. Yeah. And if you want more information about the membership, you can give us a call, text, or go to GetOneLook.com/member, and all the information about our promotions, all the added benefits can be found there.
Yeah. Looking forward to onboarding you.
Yeah. I think one of the things too, like this year that we're really focused on is social media content, because that's where people really can do that personality matching. So getting on camera, showing your face so people get a bit of a vibe check of you is really key. And speaking of social media, one of the things that we want to do here at One Look is we want to make sure that we're promoting our clients' listings as much as possible. So just as a reminder for you guys, if you're watching, tag us in your stories, tag us in your posts on Instagram, and that way we're enabled to share them on our platform so you can access our audience as well as your own.
Yeah, great opportunity for some cross-promotion, collaboration.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that's the show, guys. Thanks. We're going to have this type of episode once a month. We're going to continue talking about our what's going on in the news as far as real estate is concerned. We're going to go through our realtor rabbit holes and a bit of updates on what's going on here at One Look. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next month.
You're going to need to send me that Egypt stuff because I'm still stuck on that.
Oh, yeah. No, the Egypt thing's nuts. It's nuts.